Hello and welcome to the show. Today we're diving headfirst into a topic that will either terrify you or make you feel incredibly smug depending on where you live. We're counting down the 12 US states where retiring with $1 million is, frankly, a terrible idea. You see, that magical seven-figure nest egg that once represented a golden ticket to a life of leisure, well, it's not looking so golden anymore, at least not in these parts of the country. We're talking about places where the cost of living is so high it makes your eyes water faster than chopping onions while watching a Sarah McLachlan ASPCA commercial. We're talking about places where $1 million might buy you a parking space and a year's supply of ramen noodles, but not much else. You won't believe how quickly your hard-earned savings can disappear in these places. So buckle up, grab a stiff drink and maybe a stress ball or two because things are about to get real. First up, we're heading west to the Golden State, California, home to Hollywood, Silicon Valley, and apparently some of the most breathtakingly expensive real estate known to man. Seriously, the median home price in California could make even a venture capitalist weep into their avocado toast. And let's not forget about the taxes. Oh, those California taxes, they're like the state's version of a participation trophy. Everyone gets one. You've got your state income tax, your property tax, your sales tax. Heck, they probably even tax the air you breathe in California. Now, all of this might be manageable if you're a tech mogul or a movie star raking in millions. But for the average retiree trying to stretch their hard-earned savings, let's just say it's a recipe for more financial anxiety than a game of Monopoly with your in-laws. So if you're thinking of retiring in California on $1 million, be prepared to downsize your dreams faster than you can say Hollywood Hills. Next up, we're venturing to the East Coast, to the city that never sleeps, probably because it's too busy working to afford rent. That's right, it's New York. Now, New York City is iconic for a reason. The energy, the culture, the pizza rats, it's all truly one of a kind. But here's the thing about New York City. It's expensive, like really, really expensive. We're talking about the kind of expensive where a studio apartment the size of a walk-in closet could cost you your entire retirement fund. And don't even get me started on the cost of a bagel and coffee. But hey, it's not just the city that'll drain your bank account faster than a subway fare hike. The entire state of New York seems to have a knack for making your money disappear. We're talking high property taxes, high income taxes, and let's not forget the sheer cost of, well, existing in a place where everything seems to cost a king's ransom. So unless you're planning on retiring to a charming yet affordable upstate village, and good luck finding one of those, New York might not be the retirement haven you're dreaming of. Hold on to your wallets, folks, because we're about to cross the Hudson River and enter the great state of New Jersey. Now, New Jersey often gets a bad rap, but it actually has a lot to offer. Beautiful beaches, charming towns, and easy access to both New York City and Philadelphia. But here's the catch. New Jersey also has some of the highest property taxes in the nation. We're talking about the kind of property taxes that could make a real estate mogul break into a cold sweat. Seriously, it's enough to make you wonder if the Garden State is secretly funding a small country with all that property tax revenue. And it's not just the property taxes that'll get you. The overall cost of living in New Jersey is nothing to sneeze at either. From groceries to healthcare, everything seems to come with a premium price tag. So if you're thinking of retiring to the Garden State with $1 million, you might want to brush up on your gardening skills, because you'll need to grow your own food, build your own house, and maybe even perform your own medical procedures to make that money last. Next, we're heading north to Massachusetts, the birthplace of the American Revolution and, unfortunately, some revolutionary high living costs. Now, Massachusetts has a lot going for it. World-class universities, charming coastal towns, and a history so rich you could trip over a cobblestone and land on a historical landmark. But all that history and charm comes at a price, and unfortunately, it's not the kind of price you can pay with a tricorn hat full of colonial-era coins. We're talking about the kind of price that requires a hefty bank account and maybe a second mortgage on your soul. One of the biggest culprits? Healthcare. Massachusetts boasts a fantastic healthcare system, but it comes with a price tag that would make even a healthy person clutch their chest. And it's not just healthcare that's draining wallets faster than a Boston Tea Party. From housing to groceries, everything in Massachusetts seems to come with a fancy surcharge. So, If you're planning on retiring in the Bay State, you better start saving those pennies like Paul Revere on a midnight ride. Hold on to your hats, folks, because we're about to enter the Constitution State, Connecticut. Now, Connecticut is known for its beautiful scenery, quaint towns, and its uncanny ability to make your wallet feel lighter than a feather in a hurricane. You see, Connecticut has this funny little habit of levying some of the highest taxes in the nation. We're talking about the kind of taxes that could make a tax accountant spontaneously combust. And it's not just the state income tax that'll get you. Property taxes, sales taxes, even the cost of a cup of coffee. Everything seems to come with a Connecticut surcharge that'll leave you wondering where all your money went. So if you're thinking of retiring to Connecticut, be prepared to live a life of frugality that would make a Puritan proud. Ahoy there, mateys. We're setting sail for Maryland, the land of crab cakes, Old Bay seasoning, and housing costs that would make a pirate bury their treasure and run for the hills. Now, Maryland has a lot going for it. Beautiful Chesapeake Bay, charming towns, and proximity to Washington, D.C., although, let's be honest, that can be a pro or a con, depending on your political views. But here's the thing about Maryland. It's expensive, like really expensive. But we're talking about this kind of expensive where you might need to take out a second mortgage just to afford a crab cake dinner. And it's not just the housing market that's gone bonkers. Everything from groceries to transportation costs seem to be stuck on an upward trajectory, leaving retirees wondering if they can afford anything more than a dinghy and a dream. Aloha, and welcome to Hawaii, the land of stunning beaches, lush rainforests, and price tags that could induce a heart attack faster than you can say mahalo. Now, we all know Hawaii is paradise, but let's be real. Paradise doesn't come cheap. In fact, Hawaii consistently ranks as one of the most expensive states to live in, and for retirees on a fixed income, that can be a recipe for disaster faster than a rogue wave. Everything from groceries to gas to housing costs an arm and a leg in Hawaii, and don't even get me started on the cost of a pineapple. You're better off growing your own, and even then you might need to take out a loan for fertilizer. So, unless you're planning on living off the land like a modern-day Robinson Crusoe, and good luck finding an uninhabited island in Hawaii, retiring here on $1 million might require some serious financial gymnastics. Next, we're venturing north to the last frontier, Alaska, home to stunning glaciers, majestic wildlife, and a cost of living that's colder than a polar bear's nose. Now, Alaska is undeniably beautiful, but all that beauty comes at a price, and I'm not just talking about the risk of frostbite. From the moment you step off the plane, you'll notice that everything in Alaska seems to cost more than it does in the lower 48. Why? Well, for starters, Alaska is remote, like really remote. Most goods have to be shipped or flown in, which adds a hefty surcharge to everything from groceries to gasoline, and don't even get me started on the cost of heating your home during those long, dark winter months. So, unless you're planning on living off the grid like a modern-day Grizzly Adams, and good luck surviving on berries and salmon alone, retiring in Alaska on $1 million might require some serious downsizing and a whole lot of thermal underwear. Hold on to your craft beers and artisanal cheeses, folks, because we're heading to Oregon, the land of hipsters, hippies, and housing costs that are higher than a kite on a windy day in Astoria. Now, Oregon has a lot going for it. Stunning natural beauty, a laid-back vibe, and more microbreweries per capita than you can shake a stick at. But all that coolness comes at a price, and unfortunately it's not the kind of price you can pay with a vintage record collection and a dream catcher. You see, Oregon's housing market has gone the way of the dodo bird extinct for anyone who isn't a tech millionaire or a trust fund baby. And it's not just Portland that's feeling the squeeze. From the coast to the mountains, housing costs are skyrocketing, leaving retirees wondering if they should invest in a yurt or a time machine. Next up, we're taking a trip to the Ocean State, Rhode Island, home to charming coastal towns, delicious seafood, and property taxes that could make a sailor swear off the sea. Now, Rhode Island may be the smallest state in the Union, but don't let its size fool you. It packs a punch when it comes to the cost of living, especially for retirees hoping to stretch their savings further than a clam shack owner stretches $1. Property taxes in Rhode Island are notoriously high, rivaling those of its larger neighbors to the north and west. And it's not just property taxes that'll make you reach for your wallet. Everything from groceries to healthcare comes with a premium price tag in the Ocean State. Get ready to tap into your savings, folks, because we're heading to Vermont, the land of maple syrup, Ben & Jerry's ice cream, and a cost of living that's sweeter than a stack of freshly made pancakes, but just as bad for your financial health. Now, Vermont is undeniably charming, with its picturesque villages, rolling hills, and a pace of life that's slower than a snail on a sugar high. But all that charm comes at a price, and I'm not just talking about the cost of a gallon of organic maple syrup. From housing to healthcare to the basic necessities of life, Vermont has a way of draining your bank account faster than you can say cheese. One of the biggest culprits is the tax burden. Vermont has a progressive income tax system, which means the more you earn, or in the case of retirees, the more you have saved, the more you pay. And don't even get me started on the property taxes, which can be as high as a sugar maple after a spring thaw. Last but not least, we're heading to the Granite State, New Hampshire, where the motto is live free or die. But you might feel like you're dying a slow death by 1,000 financial cuts thanks to the high cost of living. Now, New Hampshire has a lot going for it. Beautiful mountains, charming towns, and the fact that it doesn't have a state income tax. Hooray. But before you pack your bags and move to the live free or die state, you might want to take a closer look at the rest of the financial picture. You see, what New Hampshire lacks in income tax, it more than makes up for in other areas, namely property taxes. Property taxes in New Hampshire are among the highest in the nation. And it's not just property taxes that'll make you reach for your antacids. Healthcare costs in New Hampshire are also through the roof. And don't even get me started on the cost of heating your home during those long, cold winters. Well, there you have it, folks. The 12 US states where retiring with $1 million might not be the smartest financial move. From sky-high housing costs to taxes that would make even a CPA weep, these states are not for the faint of heart or the light of wallet. But hey, don't despair. There are still plenty of places in the US where you can retire comfortably without needing to win the lottery or inherit a fortune from a long-lost relative. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more eye-opening content. Let us know in the comments if you live in one of these states and how it affects your retirement plans.